Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly focused on you? Not on what others think, not on proving them wrong, but on building the kind of life that speaks louder than words. Most people spend their days comparing, scrolling, envying while their own potential gathers dust. But what if you could turn that energy inward? What if you became so focused, so disciplined, that the same people who doubted you are left speechless? That's what we're talking about today, how to focus on yourself and shock everyone. Silence is where focus is born. The moment you stop letting every voice dictate your direction, something powerful happens, clarity begins to rise. Most people fail not because they don't have talent, but because they listen to too many opinions. One person tells them to slow down, another says it's impossible, and a third one laughs at their dreams. That constant noise kills momentum before it even begins. The truth is, you don't owe the world your attention, you owe yourself your best. When you start silencing the noise, you begin hearing something far more important, your own inner voice. That voice knows what you want, it knows what drives you, and it knows when you're wasting your time. But it can't speak if you're always distracted. Every notification, every argument, every unnecessary comparison drowns out that voice. So you must protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Turn off the distractions, walk away from people who drain your energy, not out of arrogance, but out of self-respect. When you isolate yourself for growth, you discover strength that others can't understand. That quiet space becomes your training ground. In silence, you start building habits, mastering skills, and sharpening your mindset. Let the world gossip, let them doubt. While they talk, you work. While they waste time, you create results. Every silent hour of effort adds up to something extraordinary. One day, the same people who questioned you will wonder how you did it, but they'll never understand that your power came from the moments no one saw. The less you talk, the more you do. The more you do, the louder your results speak. Silence isn't weakness, it's the birthplace of unstoppable focus. Vision is the engine that drives focus. Without a clear picture of where you're heading, you'll keep wandering in circles, chasing everything and catching nothing. You can't stay focused on something vague. You must know what you want with precision. Close your eyes and imagine the life you want down to the smallest detail. How it looks, how it feels, what kind of person you've become. That image should burn so bright inside you that it pulls you forward even when everything around you tries to push you back. Most people don't fail because they lack effort. They fail because they lack direction. They wake up every day reacting to life instead of creating it. But when you have a vision, your mind filters out the distractions. The noise fades, the excuses shrink, and suddenly every decision becomes simpler. Either it moves you closer to your goal or it doesn't. Vision gives you purpose, and purpose gives you focus. Write it down. Say it out loud. Look at it every single morning until it becomes a part of you. It doesn't matter if no one believes in it. It doesn't matter if people call you crazy. Every person who ever achieved something great started as someone who was misunderstood. Let them call it obsession, because that's exactly what it takes. When you see your future so clearly, you start moving like it's already real. You train harder, you think deeper, and you refuse to settle. That's the power of vision. It rewires your mind to act as if success is inevitable. And when your focus meets that kind of belief, you stop chasing opportunities. You attract them. A clear vision doesn't just guide your life, it transforms it. Discipline is the foundation that turns focus into results. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears, and it always does. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting up, when your body is tired, your mind is heavy, and your excuses sound reasonable. Those are the defining moments. Discipline is doing what you said you would do, long after the mood you set it in has left you. It's the silent agreement between you and your goals that no matter how you feel, you'll show up anyway. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common: they've trained their mind to obey, not negotiate. They don't wait to feel ready. They act. They push through the boredom, the pain, the doubt, because discipline isn't about punishment, it's about building strength. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you prove that you can be trusted. That builds self-respect, and self-respect fuels confidence. The truth is, discipline doesn't make life harder, it makes it simpler. When you live by structure, you eliminate the chaos of indecision. You stop wasting time debating whether or not to do the work. You just do it. Over time, that consistency compounds. The tiny actions that once felt meaningless become the reason you rise above average. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Skip it once, and it becomes easier to skip again. Follow through once, and it becomes your nature. Eventually, it's not about forcing yourself anymore, it's just who you are. Discipline turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, but it's unstoppable, and in the end, it's the quiet power that separates dreamers from doers. There comes a point when you have to stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing it. Too many people waste time explaining their plans, seeking approval, or waiting for others to validate their dreams. The truth is, nobody needs to understand your vision, they just need to see your results. Execution is the purest form of confidence. It's not about announcing your moves. It's about letting your actions speak so loudly that words become unnecessary. When you stop explaining and start executing, you shift from being a talker to a creator, from a dreamer to a doer. Talking is easy because it costs nothing, but execution demands effort, patience, and persistence. It requires you to face failure, adjust, and keep moving forward. People who truly want change don't broadcast it, they work for it in silence. The gym at 5 a.m., the late nights, the extra hours when nobody's watching, that's where success is built. While others are busy posting about what they'll achieve, you're busy achieving it. When you focus on execution, your energy shifts from convincing others to convincing yourself. Every completed task becomes a small victory that strengthens your belief. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and suddenly, you don't need motivation, your progress fuels you. The people who once doubted you begin to notice, not because you told them to, but because your results demand their attention. So stop announcing your goals to people who don't understand your grind. Stop defending your dreams to those who have already given up on theirs. Let your silence be your strength. Let your consistency be your argument. One day, the same people who questioned you will be studying your methods, because nothing is louder than the sound of quiet execution. Pain is the teacher that no one asks for but everyone needs. It shows up uninvited, tests your patience, and demands growth. Most people run from pain, trying to avoid discomfort, failure, or rejection. But what they don't realize is that pain is not there to break them, it's there to build them. Every great story begins with struggle. Every champion has faced moments of doubt, defeat, and despair. What separates them from the rest is not luck, it's how they respond when everything hurts. When you choose to face pain instead of escaping it, something powerful happens. You start to transform. Pain sharpens your focus. It strips away excuses, exposes weakness, and forces you to grow stronger. You learn more from your failures than from your victories, because pain teaches you what comfort never will: resilience. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can this teach me?" That simple shift turns suffering into strength. Think about it: the gym burns, but that's how muscle grows. Life works the same way. Every challenge you endure is preparing you for something greater. The heartbreak, the loss, the setbacks, they're all part of your conditioning. Pain gives you the endurance to handle success when it comes, because if you can survive the hard times, you'll appreciate the good ones even more. Instead of resenting pain, start respecting it. Use it. Channel it into your goals. Let it remind you of how badly you want change. The most unstoppable people aren't those who never got hurt, they're the ones who turned their wounds into wisdom. When you embrace pain as fuel, it stops being your enemy. It becomes your greatest source of power, driving you toward the life you were meant to build. The sweetest kind of revenge isn't loud, angry, or bitter its success. Nothing silences doubt faster than results. When people underestimate you, laugh at your goals, or dismiss your potential, don't argue with them. Don't waste energy proving your worth with words. Let time and transformation do it for you. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, every victory becomes a quiet response to those who didn't believe. Success speaks a language that everyone understands, and it requires no translation, no defense, no explanation. The beauty of success is that it changes the entire conversation. The same people who ignored you will start paying attention. Those who doubted you will start asking how you did it. But by then, you'll be too busy evolving to notice. That's the real power, not revenge, but evolution. When you pour all your effort into growth instead of resentment, you reclaim control over your story. You stop being a victim of opinions and start being the author of results. Let your progress be your payback. Let your peace be your answer. The best way to shock everyone is to become so good they can't ignore you. No arguments, no announcements, just undeniable transformation. Keep your focus where it matters, your habits, your work, your character. Success built from discipline and self-belief is unshakable because it doesn't depend on validation. Eventually, your presence will say what your words never could. The same people who once dismissed you will fall silent, not because you humiliated them, but because you proved them wrong simply by becoming more. That's the ultimate victory, turning their doubt into your motivation and your growth into their lesson. True success doesn't shout. It simply shines and everyone notices. At the end of the day, everything comes down to one simple truth: the world doesn't owe you understanding, support, or recognition. You owe yourself discipline, effort, and belief. Stop waiting for people to notice your potential and start proving it to yourself every single day. Focus on your growth, your journey, your mission. When you look back, you'll realize it was never about competing with others. It was about conquering the limits inside you. That's how you rise. That's how you shock everyone, not with noise, not with words, but with undeniable transformation. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. So starting today, make a decision, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Choose focus over distraction. Choose discipline over comfort. Choose growth over excuses. Stop chasing approval and start chasing your best self. Turn off the noise, write your vision, and take the first step even if no one claps. You don't need a crowd to start, you need courage. Keep pushing when it hurts, keep building when no one's watching, and one day your results will speak so loudly that the world will have no choice but to listen. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your energy today. I hope you walk away with a fire inside you, a hunger to focus on yourself and create something extraordinary. Remember, the loudest people rarely make the biggest impact. It's the focused ones who do. So go out there, stay disciplined, stay silent, and let your success make the noise. You've got one life, make it count. Thank you, stay strong, and keep shocking the world.